It was a few months ago that we turned to you, our audience, and asked you to nominate some courses that you think deserve more attention. They're off the beaten path a little bit in that hidden gem category. Well, today we're going to showcase 5 of those courses for you located in West Michigan. I can't wait to make my first trip to each of them and bring you along, so stick around.
Welcome to Michigan Golf Live Television, shining the spotlight on the best places to play, stay, and celebrate the greatest game on earth. Stay connected to Michigan Golf Live 24/7 on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our YouTube channel. And subscribe for free to our weekly FORE Golfers Network podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere podcasts are found. Here's your host for MGL TV, Bill Hobson.
Hello, friends, and welcome into the show. I'm Bill Hobson. It is great to have you with us because, after all, today's program is one that you helped produce. It was a handful of months ago that we turned to our social media audience and asked you to nominate the best hidden gem courses throughout the state of Michigan. We were not prepared for the hundreds upon hundreds of votes and nominations we would receive, and so I decided to sort of narrow things down a little bit into what we're calling today as Volume 1. As we showcase for you 5 of those great hidden gem courses located in West Michigan. I'm not going to talk for long because we have a lot of golf to show you and some other fun off the course, so let's get things started with our special edition, 5 of West Michigan's best hidden gem courses. Away we go. Let's begin our tour of the best hidden gem courses in West Michigan in the Stony Lake area at Benona Shores Golf Course. A most unique layout that's executive in length, but championship in challenge. In fact, far before they knew we were coming, Benona Shores was already known as a true hidden gem. So let's take a few moments and introduce you to this beautiful place. It's not every day when you meet the superintendent of a golf course, you find somebody who also has grown up there for 27 plus years, but Sean Pranger is my playing partner during our visit, and you know this place better than anybody else, so let me give you the first crack at describing Benona Shores.
Between the rolling hills, the woods, the orchards, it's difficult, but it's also beautiful.
Quite often when golfers hear, it's a shorter course, it's an executive course, we have this ego issue with like, well, that's not enough of a test for me. There are 7 par 3s over 200 yards to smallish greens. That's enough of a test. I'm going to guess breaking par doesn't happen terribly often here.
No, it rarely happens, and when it happens, we hear about it. The course record is 56, which is only 4 under. It's a par 60. So breaking par doesn't happen real often.
We're not going to focus on each hole that we played, even though our viewers are watching them, but your signature hole, the 13th, is really pretty special.
Yes, with the elevated tee, you get a view of the whole hole. Pond on the right, bunker on the left, out of bounds down the left. No room for error. And at 215 yards from the back tee, it's a challenge. Some people may want to lay up, but being a par 3, you don't want to do that. You want to go for the green when it's so protected that it makes it difficult.
What I love to see is people who've never played here before come out and play the course. It's one of these deceptive courses in that if you look at like an online profile and you see that it's a par 60 and you look at the distance, people might dismiss it as, you know, an executive course and it wouldn't be challenging, or it couldn't possibly be in the same type of condition as a championship course. And they come out here, and it's why we call it the hidden gem, is that people, they play it for that first time and they can't even believe it. You know, everything from the condition of the course itself to like the details, the flower beds, the hanging baskets, the pro shop, and then people want to come back. And you see like every type of golfer here. So yeah, I'm wearing a t-shirt, which would be totally fine here. We're okay with that. You also see people who they've been playing their whole life and they take golf very, very serious, and it'll be a challenge really for anybody. So it's kind of a course you can't get tired of. Doesn't matter how good you get or how many years you've been playing, which is why we have so many people who've been playing here for 30, 40 years.
You know this place, you love this place. What's special about it?
Well, I think as you pull in, you can see the beautiful landscape and the maintenance and the setting around the fruit trees and the forests. It is just a gorgeous course, set up for not necessarily a long ball hitter or somebody that has to be real skilled. This is only my 3rd year golfing, and I feel very comfortable out here. The people are so supportive and very, very kind, and it's just a great course to play.
And Mark, how is the playing experience?
The playing experience is great. It's a little different every time you play it. The condition of the course is always top shelf, and the greens are fast and smooth.
And just because it's a little bit of a shorter course, I don't think that makes it easy.
It does not. Don't let the fact that there are some par threes fool you, because some of them are pretty tough.
As you have seen, Benona Shores is a fantastic experience for the golfer and truly one of the West Side's best hidden gems. But they tell me you can't leave this place without stopping into the restaurant that they have called Farmhouse, where local flavor meets heartfelt fare. Let's take a look. I hear they specialized in smoked meats. I think the biggest challenge is to figure out what I'm going to order off this Farmhouse menu. It's amazing.
We heard you were coming in, Mr. Hobson. Here's your brisket.
You read my mind. Fantastic. Oh, look at that brisket. Folks, you cannot go wrong when you come to play at Benona Shores and then have dinner at the Farmhouse. Look at this brisket. And the good news is we've got 4 more hidden gem courses coming up for you straight ahead. And now I'm going to be here a while, so we'll take a break and we'll see you on the other side. Welcome back into the program as we continue showcasing some of West Michigan's best hidden gem courses as chosen by you, our viewers. And our next stop brings us to the town of Alto, Michigan. If you think that's off the beaten path a little bit, well, that seems to be one of the key factors for a good hidden gems course. Our next featured stop is called Saskatoon, where they have 5 unique 9s, including a brand new 9 called the Silver, designed in part by Paul Albanese and the late Jerry Matthews. What's special about this place?
Well, I think the fact that we have 5 9s here, and they're all a little bit different. The blue is tight with water. The white is long and open. A lot of men that are long hitters like the white. The gold is a links design. The silver, where we are now, is like being up north. And the red is a little bit shorter, not real tight, and not a lot of water.
The Silver course that we're kind of celebrating as one of the hidden gems in West Michigan is your newest 9. What was that process like of seeing it go from forest to a beautiful 9?
It was quite exciting, a little bit stressful. We didn't know who we wanted to design it. Called Jerry. He was in the car somewhere down in Florida and said, you know, I'm retired now, but I don't want to give it up altogether, and I'd like a little project to keep me busy. And we worked on designs in the clubhouse at lunch several days on topo maps and routed holes forward and backward, and finally arrived at a layout, and we started in September of 2019.
It is a treat for me to once again see my friend Paul Albanese, who helped carve this Silver 9 at Saskatoon, so nobody knows the before and after picture better than Paul. What was the before picture like?
The before picture was pretty spectacular itself. You know, when you get a piece of land like this, you see it and you realize, wow, you can really make something happen here. So it was great coming out here for the first time and then knowing that we had an opportunity to build an unsung gem in Michigan. So it really turned out nice, and the piece of land was great to start with. And we couldn't be happier with what came out, and all the discussions were really lighthearted and in good spirit, and I think we created something really unique together.
There's a tree on number 9 that I understand was the source of some discussion back during the build-in days. Yes. Tell us about the target tree.
Sure. You know, we came out and we looked at all the golf holes in the field after we had done a routing plan, and we saw this tree that was near the 9th green, and Jerry and I actually agreed on this concept. We thought that tree really had added character to the green concept, and the owners, Mr. Pat Howard, you know, he had his doubts about it. In fact, he had the chainsaw ready to go one weekend. He was going to take that tree down, and Jerry and I both used our persuasive abilities and just convinced him to keep the tree. And we said, Pat, don't worry about it. We think this is going to make the golf hole. And according to Pat, there hasn't been any complaints about the tree, number one, and actually a lot of people are saying that really makes the golf hole. So we're glad Pat kept the chainsaw at bay and the tree stayed, and we think it makes the golf hole great.
This is my first time at Saskatoon, as it is for a lot of your guests who stop by here. What's special about the golf experience here?
Well, the first thing is we have 45 holes at Saskatoon, so there's a lot of variety. You can kind of, you know, pick what course best suits you. We have 27 on the other side of the road. One of the 9s is easier than the rest, so for beginners, it's great to start out on that 9. This side of the road, there's the front 9's more link style, back 9's more cut through the trees. So, I mean, it's beautiful out here. I mean, you get a great experience no matter what you play.
This 9 that we're mostly featuring during our visit, relatively new and beautiful. You talk about tree-lined holes that remind you of maybe being down in the Carolinas or in Georgia. This kind of has that feel, doesn't it?
It definitely does. We get a lot of comments that it feels like you're playing up north, tree-lined fairways, all cut through the trees. They built it 2 years ago, and it's beautiful. It's most people's favorite 9 out here.
How does Saskatoon fit into that hidden gem description?
Well, out in Alto, Michigan, it kind of feels like we're in the middle of nowhere, 30 minutes away from Grand Rapids, so a lot of people don't know about us. I mean, you just gotta come out here and experience it for yourself. It's beautiful.
As we continue along our journey of West Michigan's best hidden gem courses, what a pleasure it is for me to welcome in a legend in the game as we come to the Legacy Golf Course in Hastings. Michigan Golf Hall of Famer Lynn Jansen joins us. How are you, sir?
I'm great, Bill. Thanks for being here.
It is so good to see you and play a few holes together. You had ownership of this place for a few years, but I know that even beyond that, it's in your heart.
It is now. I owned it for 7 years. Then some businessmen from here in Hastings took it over, which was a good thing.
So what's special about this place?
Well, it's really the community golf course. But it's open, we're right in the middle of Battle Creek, Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids. And so, it's a pretty good location. And that makes it special, but the golf course and its history also make it special. The golf course is challenging enough at maybe 6,500 yards for the better players to, offer them some challenge, but friendly enough also where any caliber of golfer might have some success day to day.
One of the characteristics that we see throughout the time you and I are playing together is that approaches to several of the greens, most of them are a little elevated. They're perched up, which means we've got to be more accurate with our irons, right?
Well, the greens are not huge, and you do have to be accurate. Small greens makes for a more difficult golf course. So if it's not 7,000 yards plus, you need some accuracy there to hit these greens. I don't hit too many of them anymore.
You and I are playing a par 3 together, and you said, whatever you do, don't hit it above the hole to the right, and so therefore I hit it above the hole and to the right and learned a little lesson.
Yeah, our famous number 13, maybe about 135 yards. We call it the shortest par 4 in the world.
The welcoming atmosphere here. We talk about hidden gem courses, and many times it's because they're a little bit off the beaten path, and I guess you could say Hastings is, but everybody here seems to be glad to see you.
And the place is growing. Of course, golf, since COVID has grown tremendously, and this place is growing too. And people come here and they play it, they enjoy it, they'll come back and play it some more.
Well, it's been a pleasure to play with you today, so thanks for letting us a little bit into your passion here at the Legacy.
Thank you, and thanks for beating me in most of those holes, by the way.
That's because we edit heavily.
The Legacy is a pretty interesting course. Great greens for a small amount of help we get. So for a public track, the greens are phenomenal. They roll true pretty quick. And it's not the longest course in the world, but it has some holes on it that's going to humble you. You got to pay attention off the tee. But overall, it's a great track to learn to play the game on.
Ladies come out here, it's a great time. The tee boxes are so nice too. You've got the red, you've got the white. You can play at any level that you're at. I mean, I'm honestly a terrible golfer. And we're all teeing off from the reds during league, which is great. So you get your good shots out here. And I think the ladies would really like it out here, not only for the golf course, but the beauty of the course. It's just a gorgeous course.
And as we wind down our time here at the Legacy with a little Arnold Palmer in a perfect West Michigan sunset, we welcome in General Manager Josh Alderson. This is pretty much it, right?
Beautiful. It's probably one of the best scenes in Berry County, honestly.
So in the hidden gem context, how does the Legacy fit in?
It's a 102-year-old golf course, so it's got its little quirks here and there, but it's challenging for most golfers. Not super long, but you've got to have great second shots into these greens. They're not huge greens, so really gives a good challenge to everybody, including the best golfers.
I would have to think that your second and third and subsequent rounds, you'd have a little better feel because, as you said, the greens can surprise you. They don't always look like they're going to be as fast or as steep as they are, but they are.
Yes, for sure. And obviously, too, the undulations out here, right? You drive into Hastings, it's kind of flat. You go through some cornfields and things like that. Then you show up to the Legacy, and it's hills, it's side hill lies, uphill lies, downhill lies. So if you can learn to play here, you can pretty much play anywhere.
Well, thank you for letting us be part of telling the story of the Legacy within the context of the Hidden Gems. Cheers.
Thanks for having us.
And we've got 2 more Hidden Gem courses coming up straight ahead, so stick around. Welcome back into the show as we continue our highlight of 5 of West Michigan's best hidden gem courses that were actually chosen by you in a social media poll a little while back. We have 2 places left to show you on this tour, and the next one is located in Ravenna. That's how the locals say it. It's a beautiful, sprawling piece of property called Moss Ridge Golf Club, and I've asked my friends James and Rob to help lead us on a tour of this very special place. For a lot of people watching, this is their first ever glimpse of Moss Ridge. And it's a stunning first glimpse. You must be proud of it.
I am, very much so. My first year here, the team's done a great job. They've been welcoming to me, doing my best out here to make it the best playing experience possible.
How do you describe it to people who've not been here?
It's a fair test of golf. I mean, it's difficult, but it's forgiving. If you miss the fairway, you always have an out. It's not tree lined everywhere. You're not going to lose a lot of balls, but your score can get up there if you're not putting it in the right places.
It's in such good condition. I mean, you step out and you see nothing but green as far as the eye can see, and it weaves its way through some old orchards and through a big piece of property.
Yeah, that was the design of the course. It's an old apple orchard. We did our best to make it seem as lush and pristine as possible this year, and our feedback has been great so far.
As we made our way around playing on camera, there were times where you grab driver and you just give it everything you've got because the hole is stretching in one case back to 600 yards. But then there are still some shots that you've got to hit accurately with a short iron, a mid iron, because the greens are not massive here, right? You've got to be accurate.
That's part of the test. You can't have an open layout and huge, massive greens because you can just putts one up on the putting surface and 2-putt for par most of the time. But we grow the rough out a little bit around the greens, try to make it as difficult as possible for all ages, and try to make it a true test of golf.
You're getting a lot of first-time golfers who come in after their round and say, I had no idea?
Oh, so many. I mean, probably once a day when I'm in the office, it's, hey, this course is awesome. Like, how haven't I heard about this? It's right in between Muskegon and Grand Rapids, right on the main drag, and they don't even know what's out here.
And then it's also a year-round golf destination because of what you have inside.
Yep, we have 4 TrackMan professional setups. They're tuned in, they're ready to go at all times. So summer, rain, winter, snow, I mean, it doesn't matter to us. You can come in and hit it on the TrackMans. We have a full-service bar and restaurant as well. Can't beat it when the snow comes.
You know this property inside and out because your hands are in the dirt quite a bit. How do you describe Moss Ridge?
I mean, I honestly think we're kind of a hidden gem here. I came here about 3 years ago, and it's one of the most beautiful courses I've played. For being out, you know, surrounded by cornfields, it's quite beautiful. You know, there's a lot of good scenery. Greens roll nice. Play's not too slow. Usually it's pretty fast, so, you know, just love it out here.
I think one of the things that caught my eye about Moss was that it really gives a test of golf for every skill level, whether you want to play from the back or a little bit further forward, right?
Yeah, well, we got 5 sets of tees out here at Moss Ridge, which is awesome because that means the course can play anywhere from about, I believe, 4,000 to 5,000 yards all the way up to about 7,000 yards. So no matter your skill set, you can come out and enjoy your round of golf, which is pretty cool.
You have to stay in the fairway. This is not a wild man track. You know, you can't just spray them all over the place. He's left some of that grass a little high in certain spots. He's made it tough, and yet it's favorable.
Not only does Moss Ridge have a really good, beautiful golf course outside, but it's also a year-round golf destination because whether it's snowing or raining or you just need a little practice session, they have a wonderful simulator space along with the restaurant and all the other fun you can have all year long. So let's get in a little practice. by hitting a grounder, and then we will head over to our final featured course. And our final featured Hidden Gems course in West Michigan takes us over to Fremont, where we come to Water's Edge, a destination so special it grabs your attention right from the very moment you drive through the entrance.
That entrance is a statement maker. It really puts our name, Water's Edge, out there with the beautiful block that comes in. And then you come along the lake, Bill, and it just finishes it. It just tells the story about how beautiful you're about to have as your experience playing golf here. For a lot of people who really like to have a game that is in the single digits and want to be challenged, they'll have that. But the person that's playing golf and doesn't play every day, it's also accommodating to them as well. The greens are smooth and quick, but at the same time, they enjoy their experience out here because it's not a real long golf course.
There are a lot of people watching who've never been to Water's Edge. How do you describe the playing experience here?
You know, the golf course isn't terribly long, but it plays longer than the card would suggest. It's quite rolling fairways, and you end up hitting into a lot of hillsides, and you just don't get a lot of rollout here, making it quite a challenge.
It's also on the edge of water, as the Water's Edge name would indicate. Yep. So there's a few places where you better be accurate, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we've got some force carries over water, which is a challenge, and especially that stretch 10, 11, and 12 rarely have a flat lie. So you're either, the ball's above your feet or below your feet, and that it all adds to the challenge.
The golf course itself will be the highlight, but there are a few other contenders for the highlight here at Water's Edge. Between the restaurant and the bunker and your pavilion, can you kind of speak to the off the golf course aspects of life here?
Surely. Top Tracer is our newest addition in October, where you can play golf all year round, practicing your game or just having a good time playing recreational golf. Someone one day said to us, it's like bowling with a stick. And we said, yeah, we'll adopt that. It's 8 bays of having family fun with a bistro where you can have pizza and burgers and enjoy that. On the other hand, we have a pavilion that allows our golfers to come and have an afterglow, or we can host weddings, and it is the most beautiful setting. It sits between the two lakes. And if you're looking for a steak or a chef-prepared meal, we've got a wonderful menu for people who want to sit down and have their favorite drink and have dinner at the lakes that might rival many of the restaurants in West Michigan.
Well, down here in the bunker, this is a place where we have a lot of recreational golfers come down and get a chance to show off their skills. It's a place where they can relax, have a drink, have something to eat, and hit golf balls.
All year round?
All year round, winter, summer, spring. Yeah. We had snowstorms where we had guys hitting and gals hitting golf balls into the snow. So we also have here at the bunker, we have a PGA teaching professional that you can spend time with him, and we have the track man back there. You can see everything you need to know about your club swings, ball speed, and anything else you need to know about golf.
So you have just finished your round on the beautiful 18-hole layout that is Water's Edge, and you've worked up a bit of an appetite. So you come inside their Lakes restaurant, where Chef Aaron Shapiro has whipped up, not just for us, but for everybody who comes here, an incredible menu. You want to take a quick tour before I eat pretty much all of this? How about a baseball cut sirloin? Or we can move you over here to the chicken breast aioli with some proprietary recipe cornbread underneath. Maybe you like a salad, the strawberry wedge, a little trip down to Cajun country with the jambalaya, or perhaps a little flatbread here just to serve as an appetizer. If you like some fresh whitefish dip, it's right here. An entire brick of cornbread if you'd like to test what really is very popular here in the Lakes restaurant. And then you've got to round things out with the creme brulee. So I'm telling you folks, not only is Water's Edge one of the great hidden gem courses in the western part of Michigan, but the Lakes restaurant, one of the best possible ways you could end your time here. And that, my friends, is what we call a rapid-fire tour of 5 of West Michigan's best hidden gem courses. And this, by the way, is only volume 1 because we're going to make this an annual tradition here on the TV show. What does that mean? It means that if we didn't show the hidden gem course you like the most, we'd like to get your votes. Just go online to mgltv.com/gems and cast the votes for the course that you'd like to see featured next time. Finally, take some time, come over to West Michigan and tee it up on all 5 of the courses you saw us feature here today. They are fantastic. They'd love to have you, and all of them provide a great golf experience and a wonderful value. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your time playing golf on these West Michigan hidden gems.